Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this year's awards ceremony. We're delighted to celebrate the accomplishments and rich contributions of our 2024 awardees. Thank you for being here. Tonight, we honor our awardees for their respective contributions to our field, building on the contribution of others before them. Indeed, some of our named awards trace the evolution of our science, its applications, including beneficial impacts to society. Back in 1675, Sir Isaac Newton said in a letter to his rival Robert Hooke, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." For those of you who are embarking on your professional career, this is an opportunity to reflect on the benefits of standing on the shoulders of giants before you. Indeed, use it as a strategy to see further yourself. Tonight is an opportunity to hear from some of the current giants in our field and draw inspiration from their accomplishments. So sit back, enjoy the evening.
The American Meteorological Society has a deep history of advancing the atmospheric and related sciences, technologies, and services for the benefit of society. Each year, at our annual meeting, we celebrate the rich contributions of our members in furthering this mission. With over 35 awards, we recognize the incredible scientists, heroic public servants, masterful communicators, talented innovators, dedicated teachers and mentors, and people with a heart for improving the conditions of our world.
I am so grateful to see that the AMS recognizes a range of talents and experiences within its membership, research and teaching and mentorship, service to society, forecasting, building a diverse workforce, and communicating science to the public.
This organization brings together scientists, scholars, teachers, and students in a way that we can reach broader sections of society that get us out of the ivory tower.
Operational forecasters work tirelessly to provide the forecasts our nation relies on to keep our people safe. Thanks to AMS Forecasting Awards, our community can shine that light on our most deserving forecasters.
As broadcast meteorologists, our viewers invite us into their home every evening, and they develop this trust. And so it is such an honor to be recognized by the AMS for our coverage when it comes to severe weather.
As our science evolves, so too have our awards. Each year, our story grows as our members continue to expand the boundaries and impact of our work.
I think almost every social and economic operation now depends upon weather and climate. I hope the Predictability Prize will encourage more research in the predictability of the weather and climate system, because with changes in weather and climate, society needs to know what is in store.
I study how non-English speakers receive, understand, and respond to extreme weather hazards. AMS has connected me with these folks and helped us create a community to empower ourselves to continue advancing our careers. I think it's so important that we continue to nominate people of color into these award nominations so that people are better represented and also have a greater stature in the society overall.
Everyone who takes the time and effort to nominate someone outstanding is integral to establishing and caring for this legacy. Visit our website to learn more about AMS awards and how to make nominations.
It's always an honor to be acknowledged by your peers.
What that means is that your peers, they've looked at your work and they respect what you do.
As an early career professional, you sometimes have imposter syndrome. It meant the entire world to me when I got my AMS award.
Thank you. We are honored and pleased that ASRC Federal has joined us as a sponsor of these award ceremony for the second year in a row. Please join me in welcoming Clay Murad from ASRC Federal to the stage.
Good evening. I'm thrilled to be here tonight to celebrate the incredible achievements of our esteemed colleagues and welcome new fellows into the distinguished community. At ASRC Federal, we are partners in driving NOAA's mission forward into the modern era of environmental science. It's an honor to work with some of the best and brightest scientists and engineers in the nation to keep valuable satellites operating at maximum output using cutting-edge data science and technology. You know, every year I am astonished at the passion and dedication on display at this meeting. You're breaking barriers in environmental science daily, from informing decision makers during weather emergencies to detecting significant patterns in climate activity. In addition to making remarkable scientific advancements and discoveries, you are serving as stewards of our Earth. Stewardship is one of our values at ASRC Federal. It's tied directly to my Alaska Native heritage. And in those villages of Alaska's North Slope, our indigenous communities are sustained by a deeply held commitment to stewardship, which includes a strong sense of duty to others and respect for our environment and natural resources. On behalf of my fellow Inupiat shareholders, my team, and the colleagues that are gathered here tonight, I applaud the awardees and the next class of AMS Fellows. Here's to our collective future and the precious people and lands we work together to protect. Thank you all.
Thank you, Clay. And now I'm excited to introduce our award-winning MC for the evening from Climate Data Corps in Miami and AMS honorary member, John Tui Morales. Welcome, John.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here tonight. Thank you, Anjali, and good evening. And, you know, last year, indeed, I was up here as an award winner. And let me tell you, if you haven't been to this meeting in a couple of years, and you remember the old way that we used to give out awards, snooze, this is not like that. This is like this. It's fun, and you're going to enjoy this evening very much. Now, AMS has 35 unique awards, and tonight you're going to follow a progression of awards in different categories which can more clearly articulate what kinds of amazing things your colleagues are doing. And you can start thinking about perhaps nominating some of them for future awards. Nominations is so very important for us. So, to get started, just to make sure that you all understand how this is going to work, I'm talking to the award winners tonight. When your name is called, you're going to enter on the stairs to my left, remain on the stage until the award in your category is announced, and at that time, or after that time, you can exit down here to my right. So as the kids like to say, let's go! Let's do it! All right, so our first category tonight is early and mid-career achievement. Let's start off with early career and student awards. This year's award for early career professional achievement goes to, maybe a cousin of mine, Anareli Morales. The Max Eaton Student Prize winner is Kwan Yu Lu. The winner of the Meisinger Award is Hannah M. Christensen. The Henry G. Houghton Award is given to Nather Jivanji. And the Fafanoff Award winner is Dhruv Balwada. Let's congratulate all of the early career and student award winners.
Here so I can clap.
Very good. In mid-career achievement, we have 3 lectureships. This year's Walter Orr Roberts Lectureship is awarded to Ning Lin. The Robert Horton Lectureship goes to Jessica D. Lundquist. And the Bernard Horowitz Memorial Lecturer is Simona Borduni. Congratulations to all of this year's lecturers. All right, our next category is publishing, educating, and reporting. First, we're going to have our book award. The Bataan Award for a K-12 audience is given to Jillian F. Hoffman and Eugenia Mello for their work, A River of Dust, the life-giving link between North Africa and the Amazon. Unfortunately, neither Jillian or Eugenia can be here with us tonight, but we'll congratulate them nonetheless for these terrific authors and their contributions. Congratulations. Next, we are pleased to share the editorial awards. The AMS has several excellent journals, and for each, it takes many excellent reviewers to ensure the quality of our science meets our highest standards. Among those reviewers, these individuals provided outstanding contributions in this past year. So, our editorial award recipients are Patrick M. Alexander, Noah Brower, William Y.Y. Cheng, Jeffrey Duda, Eric Firing, Young Ha Kim, Lily Netley, Nathan Lenson, Veronica Macuravo, Christopher Pitt Wolf, Ingo Richter, Stephen M. Strader, Varvara E. Semskova, Gan Zhang, and Yun Ji Zhang. Thank you so much, diligent reviewers, for all of your hard work this year. Make sure you look at the camera for your picture. And last in this category are our Teaching and Mentorship Awards. The Robert H. and Joanne Simpson Mentorship Award goes to a good friend, Eve Gunfrist. And the Edward N. Lorenz Teaching Excellence Award winner is Martin A. Baxter. Congratulations, Eve and Martin. Congratulations. We'll move on now to our Media and Journalism Awards. The Bacon Bursey Award goes to Veronica Johnson, also a good friend. And the Excellence in Science Reporting by a Broadcast Meteorologist Award is given to Deborah J. Martorell. Take some pictures. Who forecasted Beaufort's Force 3 in here? You know, I wasn't expecting this type of a breeze. There's one more, sorry. And the Distinguished Science Journalism Award goes to Sarah Kaplan, Bonnie Jo Mount, Simon Ducroquet, Frank Holy-Jones, and Emily Wright for the Washington Post, of the Washington Post, and I believe they are not here, correct? So let's acknowledge our winners. Congratulations. Congratulations. And finally, our special award winners are Cameron J. Nixon and Tim Supini. Congratulations, Cameron and Tim. Very good. I don't know where the picture taker is. All right, so now we're going to present the local chapter awards. Both of these chapters have demonstrated exceptional growth, involvement, and impact, reflecting the values of the society in their communities. The local chapter of the year is the Blue Ridge chapter of the AMS. And the Student Chapter of the Year award goes to the Texas A&M Student Chapter, with all members of these chapters. Please join us. Congrats. Thank you. Terrific. All right, so our next category is Operational Forecasting and Consulting Meteorology Awards. In this category, the award for an exceptional specific prediction goes to Thomas T. Lindley and National Weather Service Amarillo, Texas, National Weather Service Norman, Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Forestry Services, and the Texas A&M Forest Services. And the Henry T. Harrison Award for outstanding contributions by a certified consulting meteorologist goes to a mentor of mine, good friend as well, Lee E. Branscombe. He's a super fast picture taker. I've noticed this. Very fast. You don't even notice he's done it. All right. Congrats, Lee. Thank you. All right. Now we present the Society's Service Awards. These are given for outstanding service to our meteorological community. The recipient of the Charles Franklin Brooks Award for outstanding service is Alice K. Duvivier. And The Cleveland Abbey Award for Distinguished Service goes to James Kinter. Thank you. Next, we're going to present the Science, Society, and Public Impact Awards. Many of these awards are among our society's highest honors, and you'll get to hear from several people in this category. So to begin, we're going to award the Charles E. Anderson Award to Reginald Blake. Thank you, Reginald. Congratulations. And the award, the Kenneth C. Spengler Award, gosh, I seem to have a lot of friends. Stephen Root. Steve, congratulations. Congrats, Steve. And although he's not here, this year's Joanne Simpson Tropical Meteorology Research Award is given to Matthew C. Wheeler. Congratulations, Matthew. The Sukaro Manabe Climate Research Award. This is great. All these people I know, they're all friends, they're all colleagues. Goes to Natalie Mahowold from Cornell University. Oh.
with John.
You bet. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats. I'll just say go Big Red. Let's see, where are we? Okay. The Helmut E. Landsberg Award is given to Jorge E. Gonzalez Cruz. Let's give Jorge a warm round of applause. Se me zafó un web ahí, sorry. Sorry, inside joke. Where are we again? All right, we're going to give the award for outstanding achievement in biometeorology to Tilden P. Myers. Congratulations. And the first ever award for outstanding contributions to boundary layer meteorology is awarded to Peter P. Sullivan. Congratulations. And the winner of the Jagdish Shukla Earth System Predictability Prize is Shiguang Wong. Welcome, Shiguang, to the stage.
So, dear colleagues and members of the American Meteorological Society, my name is Xuguang Wang. I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive the Jagdish Shukla Earth System Predictability Prize. I would like to thank the AMS for this recognition. This award is not just a personal achievement, but a reflection of the collective efforts of many incredible students and early career scientists whom I have the opportunity to work with at the University of Oklahoma. I know some of you are here, including my former students. Thank you so much. Yes. This award is also not possible without the support of many collaborators and colleagues and friends. I know many of you are here too, but I also have special guests tonight that I have the great honor to sit with, Professor Shukla, who actually endowed this prize. And yeah. And Fred Carr, one of my OU colleagues. Jeff Whitaker, one of my NOAA collaborators. Dave Sransford, one of the university partners for the newly established Data Submission Consortium, CADRI. I also like to thank my family. I know they are watching a live stream from Oklahoma at home. My husband, Xin Yu Dai, my 16-year-old daughter, Lady, and my 9-year-old daughter, Natalie. Thank you. I love you for your unconditional love and support over the years. Predicting the Earth system requires not only a deep understanding of the processes of the atmosphere, ocean, land surface, and their interactions, but also innovative approaches to observations, modeling, data simulation, and uncertainty quantification. I'm grateful to be part of a community who are constantly pushing the boundaries of Earth system predictability science. A continued breakthrough of this field will rely on sustained investment in scientific innovation. Continued progress will require tighter collaboration of the entire community among academia, government agencies, private sectors, and require international partnership and interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary efforts. Last but not least, sustained scientific innovation also requires sustained support and investment on people, in other words, the workforce development. I'd like to express my gratitude once again for this award. I look forward to continue working with you all to contribute to this exciting field. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again. The Warren Washington Research Medal is awarded to Shidong Zun.
It's a great honor for me to receive the AMS Warren Washington Medal. I would like to thank those who are involved with the nomination process and AMS for selecting me. Dr. Washington's phenomenal achievement in science are well documented by AMS and NCAR. Here, I just want to mention one thing about Dr. Washington that strongly resonates with me. That is his mentoring of young people. Dr. Washington worked for his entire career life at NCAR, which is not a typical educational institute. Yet, Dr. Washington took all opportunity he could to interact with the young people, and he became official and unofficial mentors for many of them. I didn't have an opportunity to be mentored by Dr. Washington, but I had 3 great mentors when I was a graduate student and a postdoc. Jan Pagel, Peter Webster, and Mike Wallace. They gave me general directions and freedom for me to do what I wanted to do. They let me try, fail, and learn from my own mistakes. And later in my career, I met people who set great examples for me to follow. And I want to mention 2 people, Bob House and Rob Pinkel. I had opportunities to closely observe how they took field observations with dedication, hard work, discipline, and wisdom. And their passions for field observations were infectious, and they made me want to get my hands dirty in the field to make observations, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm very glad that both Peter Webster and Bob House are honorary members of the AMS, the highest recognition of the society. Finally, we all need some push and a nudge in our life to move forward, and I got them from my wife, Shui Chen, who is in our field and has accomplished much more than I did. Those who have worked with Shui know that she sets very high standard for herself, for her students, and for her collaborators. She treats me with no exception. And I constantly have to work harder than really want to meet her expectations in both life and career. And I won't be where I am as a scientist and a person without her pushes and nudges. So Shui, keep doing that, although I will resist as usual, but eventually giving up. Once again, I would like to thank you, AMS, for this great honor.
Okay, the Jewel G. Charney Medal is given to Rennie Zheng.
Howdy. Thank you, AMS, for selecting me as the recipient for this prestigious honor award in honor of Julie Charney. I began my undergraduate work in cloud physics at Nanjing Institute of Meteorology and began to be seriously exposed to dynamic meteorology as a graduate student at MIT. There, I learned how the quasi-geostrophic vorticity theory developed by Charney can be applied to predict large-scale atmospheric and oceanic circulation and for numerical weather forecast. At about the same time, I was introduced into another field, atmospheric chemistry. I was fortunate to work with many great atmospheric chemists and has learned how researchers has combined numerical models, laboratory experiments, and field study to unravel the mystery of Antarctic ozone hole. My current research covers many different areas, including atmospheric chemistry, weather extremes, climate change, and public health. For me, a deep understanding of the Earth's atmospheric system requires fundamental knowledge in many disciplines, including especially physics, chemistry, and even biology. Throughout my career, I'm blessed to have worked with many great mentors, colleagues, and students. Especially, I'm grateful to my PhD advisor, Mario Molina, who really taught me some very serious chemistry at the Texas A&M University, where I have worked for nearly 3 decades, and many collaborators. Also, I'm indebted to the people who have nominated and supported me for this recognition, and especially Jonathan Jiang, who led this my nomination package. Finally, I'd like to share this moment with my family, who has been unwaveringly support me for my academic pursuit and have been part of my journeys and endeavors. Thank you very much, and again.
The Sverdrup Gold Medal is presented to Wenji Chai, who can't be here today, but we have an acceptance video.
I am deeply honored to accept the recognition. I recall in 1998, when I was a young researcher at CSR Australia, one of my mentors, Dr. Stuart Godfrey, was awarded the same AMS Sverdrup Gold Medal. I remember to this day how extremely inspired I felt. But little did I know that role models that the AMS has cultivated would have such an impact on my research career. You see, I have been fortunate to work with people like Drs. Toshio Yamagata, Mike McFadden, Li Xinwu, Fei Jin, Sanping Xie, Axel Timmerman, Martin Wisbeck, and so many others. They are a source of never-ending inspiration for international collaboration and excellent science for greater outcomes. I'm so grateful to so many scientists around the world with whom I have collaborated over so many years. In that regard, I thank International CLIWA for providing such a wonderful platform. I have benefited a great deal from the collaboration. To my students and postdoctoral fellows, I thank you for helping fast-track so many hypotheses. This award is for you too, and I hope you feel as inspired as I did in 1998, and that you are striving to be an AMS role model for your own students. Thank you again for the recognition.
The Werner E. Sumi Technology Medal is given to Dennis Baldocchi.
Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for this award. I really want to thank the AMS for this, and I can't thank my nominator, Jose Fuentes, and his colleagues so much for this. I'm really pleased to have my wife and soulmate of 40 years, Nicole Lapuccia Baldocchi, here, and I have a special guest, my niece, Dr. Kate Baldocchi, who happened to be in town, so thanks a million, essentially. The Sumi Award is amazing. He's known for really be the father of satellite meteorology, but he was such a foundational person in micrometeorology, our field. In the 1950s, he invented the first net radiometer and sonic anemometer that people like us use to make flux measurements. And he helped conduct some of the first boundary layer experiments, Project Paragraphs in O'Neill, Nebraska, that really set the stage for our FluxNet community. And awards like this really represent the whole community. One of our politicians says it takes a village, and it is so true. Our community succeeds because we were able to share data and provide ground truthing data for satellites, for modeling, et cetera. And so it's just a wonderful group to work with. My friend Jose is a great teacher and always says we should try to say something to inspire the next generation. And I guess a couple things are, one is it's nice to win awards, but I think the real reward for many of us is just having friendships and collaborations and working with the colleagues. I mean, today I'm really blessed to have all the biomet people here to interact with, essentially. And also embrace serendipity. I was a little farm kid in California on an almond ranch and walnut ranch. And I liked math and physics, but I didn't know what to do with it. And there's this thing called National Geographic, and it had an article by Walter Orr Roberts about atmospheric sciences. Because as a kid, all I knew about was meteorology, and UCLA and San Jose State were big city places, and it pointed me to UC Davis, go Aggies. And what's great about Davis is that it was an ag school also, so we had a lot of chances to study biology, to really learn the mechanisms of the fluxes, of carbon flux and energy flux. And of course, that brought me to Nebraska, where my mentors, Shashi Verma, Norm Rosenberg, were really among the few teams actually measuring fluxes at that time, especially carbon dioxide. So Keeling was measuring carbon dioxide concentrations, but we need to know the fluxes in and out of the atmosphere to understand that. And that led me to go to NOAA. I'm a NOAA employee for 17 years, working with Tilden Myers and Bruce Hicks and others that really established some of the first measurements and instruments to do eddy covariance that really has led to the FluxNet endeavor, essentially. So that leads me to Berkeley. I've had great students and postdocs and technicians I really can't thank enough that really have allowed us to keep doing the work we do. Finally, on a sober note, I just want to say that the next 4 years, our ability as meteorologists to do our work is going to be maybe hindered by those who deny the climate change and maybe are trying to hinder our support of science. And I really think that we all need to kind of work together to really defend what we do. And I really, yeah. I look across this audience and I see so many wonderful scientists who are immigrants, who are children of immigrants, grandchildren of immigrants. Sumi was one. I'm a grandchild of Italian immigrants. And they really wanted us to aspire to do this. And so we really do have to defend what we're doing. And so the society needs to help us. We as individuals and citizens need to kind of write our congresspeople and resist and understand the atmosphere better. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The Hydrologic Science Medal goes to Gabby Katul. Congratulations. The Henry Stommel Research Medal goes to Amy S. Bauer.
Here's the, here we go. All right, you go. Ooh, all right, excellent. Okay, sit. Good boy. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank the AMS and the colleagues that nominated me for this medal. I am just thrilled beyond belief and so tickled to feel that I have this connection, new connection with Henry Stommel. I had the great fortune to know Henry Stommel during the last few years of his life when I was a postdoc at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. Although I myself didn't have the opportunity to work closely with him, I feel my research has been a direct part of his legacy. Stommel inspired and advised my PhD advisor, Tom Rossby, in the development of long-range acoustically tracked subsurface floats in the 1960s. Tom subsequently built his distinguished career using these floats and passed on his passion for the Lagrangian exploration of ocean circulation to me. Oh, now you want to sit down. Special thanks go to Tom today for setting me on this path and for being such an enduring mentor and colleague. For most of us, research is a team sport, as some others this evening have said. Each team member contributing in their own way something unique and critical. Everyone I've worked with over the years, research assistant to administrator, student to senior colleague, ship cook to captain, has earned a piece of this medal. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge my close colleague, Dr. Susan Lozier, for 35 years of sharing ideas and friendship that have enriched my research and my life. Hopefully, we have many more years to go. I also want to share this award with my WHOI research partner of nearly 30 years, Heather Fury. I would not be here without your generous support, patience, and organizational skills that far exceed my own. And where would any of us be without the commitment of family and loved ones who share our belief in science for the betterment of humankind, contributing in their own way by keeping the home fires burning during long absences at sea and late nights at the computer, To my husband David and kid Sale, this one is for you too. Finally, I'd like to tip my hat to Hui for willingly providing me with accommodations for vision loss, enabling me to not just survive, but to thrive in my career. I close by encouraging all of you, professors, advisors, supervisors, and administrators, to go beyond compliance and become strong allies of the students, researchers, and others in your world that live every day with disabilities. There are future medal winners in their midst. Thank you very much. Come on, Kurt. Come on, buddy. I've got him. Oh, you've got it. You can walk over this.
And finally, in this category, the Carl Gustav Rosby Research Medal is awarded to Graham Stevens. Now, Graham couldn't be here today, so saying a few words on his behalf is one of this year's newly elected honorary members, Peter Webster.
Well, I'm not Graham Stevens, but maybe our accents match. If Graham were here, he'd start by saying good day. I must say that I'm very honored to accept Graham's award. He was one of the victims of the Los Angeles fire and became very ill afterwards, and he's now recovering, so he's doing well. He was my first office mate in CSIRO in Australia. And we thought about what are we going to do with our lives? And I said, I think I'm going to go to the United States and become a professor. He said, yeah, so am I. But he said, you know, Jan is not so keen to do that. So he said to her, I'll make a deal, 4 to 7 years. 45 years later, Graham is still here. But, you know, she's been a caring and a very, very strong partner. And I must say, when you think of Graham's work, he's a beacon in radiation cloud interaction and says so much about how the world works and what we know about climate. So he's helped launch satellites. He's worked at CSU as a professor, had many fine students, and then went to JPL, where he helped organize the creation of new satellites, new data sets, and so on. And even during that, came up with ideas that we haven't even thought about before. So congratulations, Graham. I'm sure very soon you'll be here in an AMS meeting and you'll be honored properly. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to move on to celebrate members who've had a lasting, important, and generous impact on the society. So we're going to be inducting our new fellows of the AMS. You're gathering to my left. And as you come up, we're all going to try to squeeze in for a picture. So all your names are going to be called. This year's fellows are Randy Bass, Melissa Burt, Yi Chao, Michael R. Farah, Katja Friedrich, Andrew Gettleman, Timothy Griffiths, Robert Hart. Pamela Heinzelman. Stephanie C. Herring. Neil A. Jacobs. Tristan Lequier. Saranya Majumdar. Elizabeth A. Mulvihill. Stephen W. Nesbitt. Paul Rober. Christopher Ruff. Remco Olanhut. Jordi Vila. Enrique R. Vivoni. Yun Wang. Muying Wang. Song Liang Yang. And Sui Bing Yang. Big round of applause for all of our new fellows. Congrats. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congrats, guys. Congrats. Sí, huepa de nuevo. Otro huepa. And now we've reached the final stage of our awards tonight, and these are the most special awards, and I was really touched by this last year, as you know, said some important words, which I hope some of you still remember, about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And without further ado, let's look at the 3 new inductees to honorary members of the American Meteorological Society. First, congratulations go to Robert A. Howes, Jr.
Well, this is a great honor, and my thanks go out to the AMS for recognizing me. It's really a fitting end to a long 60-year career with the AMS. A turning point of that 60-year career was when I went off to MIT to become a graduate student, where Charney, Lorenz, Houghton, all people that are named awards here, were professors, but I was honored to be advised by Dr. Pauline Austin, who was one of the first women to earn a PhD in physics from MIT. She was a radiation physicist who had studied under Julius Stratton, and she became interested in radar and worked on the team that developed radar for World War II. And along the way, she realized the importance, potential importance of radar for meteorology, and we all know how important it has become. When I went to the University of Washington, where I've spent my whole career, I became involved in organizing and participating in field experiments at various locations around the world. And thanks to my training by Pauline Austin, I was able to make radar a key part of these projects. And this is where I need to make a comment about my family, who, like other families who've been mentioned here, provided understanding and patience and support. These were my wife, Yolanda, who's here tonight, my daughter, Becky, and my daughter, Debbie. They put up with these long times away from home to do these field projects. I would also like to thank someone who's been kind of almost an honorary family member, Stacy Brodzik, who's been my sidekick in conducting all of these experiments, which I wouldn't have been able to do without her technical expertise. In addition to the field work with radar, I came into the field. As I came into the field, radars were starting to be considered to put on satellites, and I was on the science team for three of the first satellites to carry meteorological radars on board, and the field projects and the satellites collected tremendous amounts of data, and these projects, of course, were supported by NSF and NOAA and NASA, DOE, these wonderful funding agencies who've made our work possible. And the data that we collected I was able to use to provide 34 graduate students and PhD students and postdocs with information that they needed to make some valuable studies of the clouds and precipitation and their influence on the large-scale circulation of the atmosphere. And it's these people that deserve a tremendous amount of thanks, because they carry so much of the research load that we do in these university projects. And here I would like to say a word about diversity. A number of you have already commented on it, and we've seen a very diverse selection of awardees tonight. And I started working on this really 50 years ago when I first started the University of Washington. These 33 folks come from different backgrounds: 2 African American, 5 Asian, 3 Hispanic, and a total of 15 of these were women. So we, in our little project, I feel like we made a significant stamp on diversity of our meteorological research field. Finally, I just want to say that the things that these folks working with me have helped to discover, I hope the insights that we've gained will become useful in global models for not only for prediction, weather prediction, but also for climate prediction. And I think this will be possible as models become ever finer in resolution. Up to now, we have not really been able to include all of the effects of clouds and precipitation on the large-scale atmosphere. And but I think as the resolution of the models come down, become finer and finer, I think we'll be able to do that. So with that thought, I'll leave you and thank the AMS once again for this wonderful honor. Next, as honorary member, we congratulate Ann Mee Thompson.
I wanted to thank both the presidents who've spoken to me about this honor and making sure that I would be here this week. As a non-meteorologist by training, the status of honorary member of the AMS really amazes me. I've always loved AMS meetings. I love all the people. I have done some counseling of being in this rarefied company. I want to thank my colleagues, the anonymous colleagues who are responsible for my nomination and selection. So as others have done, this is a time you reflect on those shoulders that we stand on and the people who've made a difference, all the gratitude and good fortune one has had. And a postdoc last month at the AGU meeting said, well, sent me questions afterward and said, can you tell me about pivot points in your life? So I thought I could equate those pivot points to times of, situations for which I'm very, very grateful. So there have been basically 4 of those. And the first one, actually, is that my late uncle, George Veronis, himself an AMS awardee, it was his idea to suggest studying the oceans or the atmosphere, and he put me on a postdoc journey to Woods Hole. So weeks out of grad school in a dark, dim chemical lab, a tropical Pacific cruise with Oliver Zafiriou was easily pivot number 1. I never went back to the chemistry lab. I also, thanks to Ralph Cicerone, retooled at both Scripps and NCAR, completing the transition from chemist to atmospheric scientist. The second pivot has sort of continued on. It was moving to NASA Goddard in the mid-1980s, recruited by Marvin Geller. Although I performed some of the modeling that he wanted me to do, it was only a few months after my arrival that the ozone hole broke. And so that got me to thinking more about really working with satellite data and getting back to field work. A NOAA-led Soviet-American oceanographic cruise and a decade of really remarkable DC-8 NASA aircraft missions led ultimately to the International Southern Hemisphere Additional Ozone Sondes Network, which I put together with partners. We have sponsors from 20 nations. That has enjoyed exceptional support throughout from NASA, especially from Jack Kay, who's been a wonderful champion and enthusiast. That also made me my final pivot, which was back to NASA Goddard. I had a 2.0 career there, and I'm still at it. Came after the third pivot, which was 8.5 years as a Penn State meteorology professor. It was pure joy to bring students on field campaigns and to advise their brilliant theses, and there were about 15 of those. Penn State super student Ryan Stauffer and postdoc Deborah Collinage came to Goddard with me from Penn State, and they're now in charge of the Shadows Network. We still work together. They're an absolute dream team. I wanted to make a final comment on the AMS meeting theme. I remarked a little bit about it earlier today. Making measurements across all scales, studying both remote atmospheres and homegrown pollution, is both a privilege and an obligation. Although we are in awe of more and more and better satellites and instruments, and we're all chatting about AI, this award from the work that I've done really honors consistent, painstaking, ground-based measurements. Many of these done by partners in countries. When you go to visit, you realize how fortunate we are. Just getting to work
in the morning for some of them is a monumental challenge. These data are incredibly high quality, and they remain, with all of our high tech, they remain foundational for our understanding of the atmosphere and also of our ability to make sound decisions for a healthier planet. So I'm sure that as we look at the resources, both the human and the other resources that are necessary to keeping these going, I'm confident that we'll be able to do that. And again, I want to thank AMS for this honorary membership.
Our final honoree tonight, this is last but not least, we welcome again to the stage honorary member Peter J. Webster.
Well, thank you, AMS. But I will start off by just saying one tiny thing, that let's not forget the marvelous leadership we've had from Julie. I'm greatly appreciative of this honor. I became a member of the AMS longer than most of you have been on planet Earth. My experience with the Society have been enlightening. They've embodied through people I've met, and also through the spirit of science and inspirational leadership, the use of science for the betterment of mankind, humankind, and the national and global community. I started off as a humble weather forecaster in Australia, even before numerical weather prediction became something that forecaster could use. And I went up to the tropics. I thought, oh, that's a great idea. I knew nothing about the tropics at all. And when I got there, I suddenly realized nobody else did either. And there was no unified theory like had been developed for the exotropics. So in the end, with all my frustration, I decided to go overseas and to MIT. That was probably the most humbling experience of my life. All the students seemed to know what they were doing. They all seemed to know things that I didn't know. And when you have a Charney, a Lorenz, a Phillips, my advisor, around, it was very difficult for an ego, especially an Australian one. So anyhow, I finished at MIT, and I finished up on an academic career. And I must say that it has been the most amazing trip to have people like Xidong Zhang receiving awards, one of my former students. And I tried to facilitate an atmosphere in my research group of, it's not me talking down, it's the people I'm working with speaking up. And I think in a sense that this multi-level approach worked very, very well, and I've had some fine students. So anyhow, I think don't want to outdo Bob Howells. I had 31 PhD students. And they've gone to do remarkable things. But, you know, one of the things about working in tropical meteorology, you finish up going overseas, or if you don't, you should. And I spent many, many times in India and in Bangladesh and different parts of the tropics. And one of the things you learn is that, my goodness, there is a lot you can try and do to help facilitate a better way of life. And so the last 20 years of my life, following in the examples of my friend Tim Palmer, trying to introduce environmental prediction systems, probabilistic systems into the third world. And so we've done pretty well, I think. And there are now utilization of some of the forecasts for hazard prediction has worked out pretty well. My final point I want to make are the congratulations to the fine array of students and young scientists and faculty that we have honored tonight. And the one thing I would make a point of is the diversity of them from every part of the world, from every ethnic group, male, female, and I think we should remember when we hearing discussions about immigration policy, we should remember all the people who have been honored tonight. So many people are immigrants, and so many people are contributing to the world that through the AMS. I do have one final statement about a trend I see in our field that worries me slightly, and that is the absolute faith in models. And models are only as good as models, and some of them are not very good. And so, which is fine. They're a tool, but observations are a tool. Theory is a tool, and we should combine all these and not just become advocates of a model result. So I just want to thank you all, thank the AMS and Julie. I'm very deeply honored. Thank you so much.
Listen, when we gather to elevate the achievements of our outstanding members, we affirm what we value as a society, and we celebrate how far these extraordinary efforts have brought us. May we leave here tonight inspired in our own paths, inspired to look for the great contributions of those around us, and remember what a wonderful community we are a part of. I'm going to leave it to Anjali to send us all off to the party. Thank you all.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Grazie, mucho grazie. I don't know whether I pronounced that right. But I just wanted to say that we come to the end of the awards ceremony, but I want to remind you that it starts with you. So if you know of some of colleagues, friends, somebody to honor, then please do nominate. And we have a nice talent pool of nominations. At Houston, we have another party to celebrate our awardees. And so remember that as you leave. And now we have the second part of our celebration, which would be you go out the door and make a right. And it's Wednesday Night Live.